All right, well, it is officially the week before school. It starts next week already.
We do.
I'm excited for school to start. I love when my kids get to go back to school. That structure that always comes with it. I know friends of ours, they appreciate that structure as they get back into their routines.
Yes.
You're not the only one that has issues with the kids going to bed earlier and not wanting to get up in the morning. I'm right there with it. I'm guessing your youngest still is similar in that same way.
Yes, I mean, as much as I tried to say, Gabe, you start going to bed, start to get into that routine again, because come next week, it's you're gonna struggle in the morning. And he says, Mom, I'm fine. Okay, we'll see. We'll see, but I'm gone. Like, I'm usually gone, and so it's my husband who takes him to school. So Chad has to work through that.
From one dad to another, Chad, best of luck to you. Well, the official day, it's Tuesday, August 19th.
Yes.
That is the first day for all of our students. Little difference for kindergarten, but really they're going to show up on the 19th at some time during the day. But wow, we're going to see those new shoes, those pictures of the kids with their new school shoes and their new backpacks. And where we sit right now, we are sitting in one of our brand new kindergarten classrooms. It's exciting to say that as we start this school year, pre-K through 6, we are all under one building on day one.
We are. We're starting together. We're ending together. As a district, we're starting together, we're ending together, which was not the situation last year, understandably. But I tell you, it is 25, 26 is going to be a wonderful year. It feels good. I'm heading into my second year.
It's really been a year since we sat down for that first time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. I wrote this down. It's not going to be long, and we're going to be looking at May 22nd of 2026, the last day of this school year.
It is, and sometimes it's interesting because in our world we have so many irons in the fire, right? And regardless of what role our folks hold, we are so busy all the time. And we're always looking for those ways to improve. And so because when that's your area of focus, one day turns in, next thing you know, it's the end of the week, that week, the end of the month, the end of the year. So yeah, it flies by, but it's
gonna
great.
Happen.
It's fun.
Well, let's talk real quick.
Yeah.
Summer is wrapping up for you. I want to talk. I know that you work throughout the summer, nonstop. You do. You got away maybe once or twice to do a little something with the family?
We did. We had about a 9-day stint in Panama City for baseball.
Baseball mom,
wrestling mom, and for at least for this year, basketball mom. Yeah.
Is that a new thing for him?
It is not.
Okay.
It is not, but that's his. He likes to stay busy.
Gotcha.
Which is fine. For me.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say I am now stepping into the cheer dad role myself. So I don't know what I'm in for yet.
You better get ready. For that. You're going to know the cheers. You're going to be mouthing the cheers with the kid. I mean,
I like the tick, 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 boom. See, I'm already close, but
right? Yeah.
So you got away for that.
Did, and then we're right back at it.
Good.
So.
Good. Well, you've been busy because we've made some changes within the district moving forward as you've been wanting to do since the beginning. We've got new staff starting this year.
We do. So we have approximately 25 new staff members between certified and classified, and I'm excited to meet with them ahead of our all district gathering. And so, yeah, we were fortunate. I will say that, yes, there is the pool of teachers is dwindling. That is a fact. It's trending downward. However, we really lucked out, and we have some great staff coming on board, and I'm excited for them to be spotlighted once we get the year started. Some of them are natives here, they're alumni, and some of them are new to us. And so I'm looking forward to celebrating them and welcoming them.
I will just mention, some of the new staff that I saw. I mean, there's nothing more exciting to me when you hear a story about, let's say, a new second grade teacher who is taking the role of her former second grade teacher. You know, sometimes you don't know what an impact is for a teacher and what impact they'll make on future generations, but we do get to see them from time to time.
We do, and you know, I know not every aspiring new teacher gets to return home, right? And be a part of the community where they, you know, live and graduated from, and not everybody has that opportunity, but it's a wonderful way to keep a strong foundation for not only a school system, but ultimately a community. So again, we're grateful to be able to have some of our young professionals return.
Well, I wrote down some numbers, and every time I've heard these numbers countless times before, but every time I hear them, I go, yeah, this building we're in, Celina Elementary, over 1,200 students.
Yes.
1,200.
Yes.
And district alone, over 2,600 students.
Yes.
And then I'm looking at the population of Celina going, oh, so when we talk about how much is tied to our school district, 2,600 students, what's the population of Celina? Do the math. It's right there.
It is. And you know, schools in general, regardless, I think, of how big a community is, schools are a central hub, right? Because this is where we have the onus and the responsibility for our youth. And it doesn't make a difference if you have community members who no longer have kids in the district. They understand that, they get that. Yeah. And so yes, over 1,200 in this building, and then, you know, over 300 in our middle school, over 700 in our high school. We have TriStar, we have our Head Start, which also makes us unique, that other districts don't. And I think that's one of the things that is a plus for us.
It's a big district.
It's a big district.
So I don't want to forget, next Monday, a very big night here at Celina Elementary, 5 to 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
It is back to school night. Everybody's going to get to meet their teachers, see their classrooms. I know a lot like to bring their school supplies with them.
Yes.
But I'm going to go one step further. You get to see the new parking lot here at the elementary.
I was going to say that if you didn't.
I got to park in it this morning.
Oh my gosh, isn't that?
They're actually still finishing
there's some parts.
the other parts, but the main parking lot.
Isn't it wonderful?
Blacktop. There are white stripe parking spots. It wasn't very far to walk. There weren't cars going this way and that way. And there were cars here when I got here this morning. I mean, I was able to get to a parking spot while there were people working on the parking lot.
Yes, and not hit any holes.
Didn't find any holes.
Because even the areas where we had, I mean, there were some, you know, we had some work to do.
Yep.
Regardless, but oh my gosh, fresh paint. I mean, it looks so clean and pristine, and plenty of parking.
It was nice to see, you know, last year we had this new building and we're finishing up and we're moving here and there. But this year it's like, it's all there.
Right.
Maybe there's not grass in all the places we want, but that's coming real soon.
Right.
And out back, the playground is much bigger.
Doesn't that
They were
look
grading
wonderful?
Back behind so they can plant grass back there, but it basketball hoops are up.
I know.
There's room.
It's going to be fantastic. And you know, I pulled up this morning because I was with our bus drivers at their meeting this morning, and I thought, is it odd that I'm pulling into this and I think a parking lot can be beautiful?
No, not at all.
And I thought that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, this is absolutely wonderful.
Well, I know that
It's the little things.
I know some administration and some others are really working on that traffic pattern to make sure that they get that out so people understand.
Yes.
Bear with them. It's coming.
Yes.
I have a feeling maybe those first couple of days, it's just because it's different. Everyone's, but it's there. There's so much more access to get through and get where you go. So good for that. You mentioned bus drivers.
Yeah.
You met with them this morning. If you haven't yet, bus schedules have been posted on the brand new updated website.
Yes.
Working out all the little kinks, getting that all on there. I will say, I thought it was very cool. I had someone reach out to me and goes, "It's in Spanish," and I said, "Oh, click." So I mean, you can easily
on the little
see
globe-looking
icon,
icon.
you can see different languages on there. But when you said within just a couple clicks, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
and I clicked menu, and I think
tested it out, didn't
and
you?
I think it was transportation, and I saw bus routes, and I go, yeah, that was a lot easier. So when we talked about we were making some changes and doing some updates, the new website's there.
It is.
It is. It looks wonderful. If you haven't yet, classrooms are posted on the back side of the building.
Yes.
Where all the teachers park. You can come around that back way and you can see your teacher. So if you don't know who your teacher is for your younger students, you can do that. So excited for that. Okay, well, let's move forward.
Okay.
Let's go.
Always.
Let's go next. We always talk about communication. That's been your hot topic since day one. So how do you think you're doing on communication so far?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I might be a little biased, but I think that it has improved.
Okay.
And so I would say on a scale of like 1 to 5, 5 being the best, I would say we're sitting at about a 3. We have some room yet to grow, and we will. For example, we are working with our communications team who's off-site, and so we're really honing in on that written communication. And so one of the pieces that the community will see this year is a district newsletter come out. It's going to come out twice a year. And so that will be a printed version that will also be available. We'll make sure it's available digitally as well to archive it. But I think print is important, right? As much as we are, advancing in technology, there's really something to be said for a printed document and a reference resource that we can put our hands on and that we can see and read. And so that's going to be coming this year. We are also going to be working with our buildings on setting a more consistent communication as far as a newsletter. I know our elementary does that currently with the Bulldog Brief. And so what we're really trying to do is develop that strategic plan of communication, that the structures are in place, the expectations will determine, we have yet to determine frequencies that those will be released, but we'll have a set platform. Try to make the template as consistent as possible so families who have children in multiple buildings know what to expect, maybe know where in the communique to reference. And so these are some things that we're moving forward. Again, our plan is developing as we go, but these are also going to be some tangibles, I guess, some measurables that folks will start to see and realize as we continue to develop.
Well, I know you've stated to me before that you're just putting it out there. If it's information they're going to need to know, we're going to figure out some way to make sure you get it out to the masses.
Yes.
The one system where you'll send out a phone call or a text message or an email. I know that I've noticed an uptick in the number of those that I get. And it's funny, I got one time and it wasn't relative to me, and I thought, oh, it's okay. Because I now know about it, and I think that's one of those things that you're really trying to make sure that you put out there.
I would always, especially as a parent, when it comes to like what's going on in the system, I would prefer to know in advance. I don't want to hear something that might have been a different version from my kid, and so as a parent, I've had experiences with that, right? And so that's what I want to create for others, and then for the community at large, to make sure that what others might need to know, I want them to know. And again, proactive versus reactive. That's also something that that is going to be a part of our work over the next several years, because it's a in process, is our school safety. And everything relative to school safety, and trying to tighten up and clarify internal communications, and then for our community and our family, and work with our area organizations, our EMA, manager, Chad Wilrath for the county. And so again, we have a lot, we always have a lot going on. I mentioned irons in the fire, and we have to. Because we want others to know, and again, to just maintain that proactive approach all the time, as much as we can.
As much as you possibly can.
As much as we can, yes.
And she said it, so we're going to hold her to it now.
Absolutely, I hope you do.
Okay.
I wouldn't expect different.
we will.
I know.
or you'll hear about it. So there are some big things that are happening around the state. We've talked about that before. Some things that come down to the local level that we have to pay attention to. So I'm going to give you a moment to talk about what's going to happen, or what the plan is, or how you're trying to look ahead.
So I'll be honest with you, I feel like I've had whiplash this summer with what's going on at the state level and even at the federal level. To some extent that impacts our funding. And so, for example, we weren't going to have federal funding for this year, and now just, as of last week, we had funds released. So what we thought and anticipated to be a loss, we now have. For how long? I don't know. So thankful for that, because that helps fund a lot of initiatives and enrichment opportunities for our district and our kids. Locally, right, so we know that the governor signed the budget bill into law. However, we know that the House has 3 specific line item vetoes that they want to override. And they're starting with the one that impacts, the levies. And so that makes a difference. The Senate has yet to take action on that, right? So we're kind of in limbo.
Yeah.
And that does impact us because we do have a renewable levy that will be on the ballot in November. And that brings in a little over $4.9 million. It's a fixed sum. And so depending on what happens legislatively, this might be our only opportunity for this renewal, versus having to ask the community for new monies in a new levy, which we do not want to do.
Okay.
Just a little going on.
Just a little bit going on.
Yeah.
And I mean, the challenge for you obviously is that communication part. Is if people are asking that question, well, that 4.9, what does it constitute? What is it made up of? They just want to know.
Yes, and so for that, again, that is a fixed sum, and it's for operations. And so I think what the community and in District 2, everyone will start to see is more communication that we will put out that is just factual for financials, that is very specific just to in general. Because I always believe, I feel a little bit at a disadvantage, I always believe that communication needs to be consistent, not when there's a levy coming out, not when there's something new, it's all the time, right? And so if there's any, belief that, they only communicate when they need something, well, that is a belief that will not hold if I have anything to do with it.
Okay.
Because this is consistent communication that we want everyone to be in the know and what's happening, regardless of, if there's a new levy, if there's a renewal levy, in a time when there's no need, so to speak.
Okay. Well, from that to just a slightly different, a levy, however you want to word it, new buildings, new high school, that is still moving forward.
It is.
And
it is.
I just drove by the other day and there was more facade. And I'm like, it kind of looks like one building, not there's something back there and another piece there. Now those funds are in place, but let's talk about where we are in that building project for the high school, middle school.
Sure. So we would expect it to be enclosed as soon as this winter, so that then from there,
like
all
week.
of the right, it might
Let's
as well
get over the heat.
I know. Oh, I know. But no, so that's what we're looking toward, around the winter months, that we should be enclosed, and then the work will begin on the interior. And so the progress is unbelievable. First of all, it truly is. When I say it's every day, it truly is every day. And so, actually we're getting ready to have conversations about furnishings.
Oh, wow.
I know we're not going to have everyone move in until the fall of 2027, but, the design team, and with the support of, Phil Metz and that role of facilities and project manager, and then putting staff together to start to include, the stakeholders in making those decisions. But we're not even all the way, blocked in, so to speak, but here we are, we're talking about furnishings.
Well, the first thing that went to me with furnishings is we won't be in a kindergarten classroom where we can't sit in the chairs. So that was what happened when we showed up here today.
Yeah.
It actually, when I drove past, I think it was 2 days ago, I go, that thing looks massive compared to the one that sits next to. But then I had to go, well, It is the middle school, high school combining into one.
It is. It is. And so, you know, when we talked about that, some things that we've learned from our, I call it the merge here with CES, is that there are some important components that we need to pay attention to internally when we're talking about bringing all of our kiddos, not just with processes and logistics, right? So we don't have bottlenecking of, you know, kids going all different directions and lunch times, but also with our staff. You know, they've never all been together, and so they might have previously, unless they knew each other, you know, in a social way outside of work, they may not have ever met each other except at a convocation.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's something that I think that we've learned, and I will credit our administration here at CES for recognizing that last year and making some changes for this year to start to bring that new identity and community together. But we get the opportunity to learn from that ahead of 7/12. What might parents need to know ahead of time, right? Not just when kids are walking in the door. And for our staff, how can we start to build that community sooner than when they're all walking in and getting rooms set up for the first time? So well, lessons learned.
Well, I want to mention, because, you know, there was a lot of discussion, at least that I heard about, when we're going middle school, high school all together, little kids or younger kids, older kids. And I just talked to a new kindergarten parent earlier this week. And, you know, we have everything from PK all the way up through 6th grade in this building. And I said, my daughter who was in 6th grade last year, I said, I would come to the building, be, let's say, where the 1st and 2nd graders were, completely forget that 5th and 6th grade was over there. So there's that, it's still that grade level, that age, they get the focus that they need.
They do.
So I'm not so concerned about my middle school student being with high school students. I think for the most part that has been figured out, but you're aware of how that works.
Yes.
And I think that's part of when you're bringing middle school staff, high school staff. They know how different grades. I mean, middle school kids are middle school kids, and high school kids are high school kids.
They sure are. And you know, something I think is important too is about perspective, right? And I always choose to have an asset-based lens instead of a deficit-based lens. And so I'm not naive to concerns, and neither are our staff or our administrative team. However, I look at how many more opportunities do we have? How many more opportunities do we have for mentoring? How many more opportunities do we have to bring our kids together sooner, right? And to build that community and build that school spirit even more, because they all are under one roof and feel a part of, right? And so that's how I think that we have so many more opportunities than perhaps what we even realize at this point. And that's what I look forward to.
It's exciting. You know, I'm going to mention, we're just finishing up the Fair Week. It's been a busy week from that standpoint. And I got to see lots of the students. And it's so cool when I see one of the older kids, let's say it's with an animal, helping one of the younger kids. And I'm going, there's nothing more than they want to help them. And it sounds like you're thinking about that for the future and ways to make that work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's school community, right? And then community all together.
Well, Brooke, we're not far away. It's next week.
I know. Here we go.
It's next week. I'm excited for the first day of school. I'm excited for that
for multiple reasons.
Well, multiple reasons. I am. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen this year, where it's going to go, and everybody's watching.
That's right. I look forward to it, as always.
Brooke, best of you. To you.
Thank you.
All the new staff.
Thank you.
All the new students, the current staff, the current students.
We're going to get rolling.
Have a great school year.
Thank you. I appreciate you.